Residents of Eldorado Park say they have high expectations for the newly sworn-in Joburg Mayor Dada Morero. Dr. Mpho Phalatse's ousting as mayor has once again pushed coalition politics under the spotlight. Meanwhile, some residents are concerned that the sudden shift of power will more than likely have an impact on communities and service delivery. For responses to the changes in the mayoral office, we are now joined in studio by Mnisi. Linda, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Now, after a very dramatic turn of events yesterday, we saw that Dr. Mpho Phalatse has now been ousted as mayor, and this morning, Mr. Dada Morero was then sworn in. It clearly shows that coalition governments are something that South Africans need to get used to, but Johannesburg residents in particular have felt the brunt of these coalitions. What has been the reaction of those in the streets, especially when it comes to the sudden change of leadership?
These are communities, Katlego, you'll remember, who want consistency, who want a continuation of, talks between government, particularly local government, and themselves. And they're finding themselves now, bearing the brunt of what we saw play out yesterday. I went to Pimville, and the residents there are telling me that, they're expecting that the newly elected mayor should take on the baton and move forward with their issues, the same way that, his predecessors have been doing, basically. You'll remember this is a community earlier this year who organized a Soweto shutdown march. They marched to a neighboring informal settlement where even one of them was shot dead, complaining about issues of service delivery, complaining about issues of electricity. So at this particular point, you can only imagine where they are in as far as trusting the incoming mayor, because of course they're saying even the outgoing mayor, the ousted mayor, Mpho Phalatse, did not fulfill her promises, did not in fact do what they asked her to do. Let's take a listen to what they had to say.
We were in talks of making sure that the security for Eskom that was awarded to Bidvest must be eliminated, because of we believe in guarding our own cables, because cable theft is very rife in our community because of Bidvest is not doing their job. But another thing is that we spoke about service delivery, we spoke about chicken farm being removed, but instead she did vice versa. So she said she was going to give the community of chicken farm electricity and water, whereby that place was actually rezoned into a non-development place because of Batubane Badula chicken farm. At first they were removed and zone 9 was built. So those are the kind of issues that we were engaging, that chicken farm is not supposed to be there.
Now, Linda, some of the other residents that had concerns with those of Eldorado Park, they've seen their community being marred by violence over the last couple of weeks, and they had already reached out to the previous mayor, and they were waiting for responses with regards to what then needs to happen. What are their reactions now with the new mayor coming in? Does that process now need to start from scratch?
Well, in fact, the community of Pimville, Katlego, is lucky in this instance, because the mayor's ousting came 8 days earlier, when they were supposed to have these talks with the mayor of the city of Johannesburg. As you would have seen earlier when I spoke to you, they set up tents outside the local police station. The new issue, the new social ill, which is seemingly sweeping through their community, is the issue of gun violence, and they're seeing more and more people being killed, and this is what they are, calling the local government, for. They want help in this particular regard, but it's not a new thing. Seeing them going to the police station, protesting. You would have seen earlier this year they had, community meetings where they wanted a new station manager, saying that the local police station was not working. It was also not the first time. You'll remember the passing of Nathaniel Julius also raised those issues, and they're saying 8 days prior to when we were supposed to have a discussion with the mayor, she is ousted. Where does this leave us? In limbo, maybe? Let's take a listen.
The former mayor, Mpho Phalatse, had scheduled to come out and meet with the community of Eldorado Park on the 8th of October. So right now we have an issue because is the new mayor going to actually come out and say, okay, fine, Eldorado Park, we are aware of your problems, we are aware of the challenges that you are facing with regards to government, with regards to the station commander and SAPS and them not doing their work. So it's a bit of a catch-22 situation that we find ourselves in, because we don't know what the next move is going to be.
So, Linda, one thing that we are seeing is that there's active citizenry amongst people, especially in the city of Joburg. People are not sitting back and waiting for these mayors to fix their problems.
In fact, what I was saying earlier, Katleho, it's interesting how young people are at the forefront of their local community issues. You would have seen Gabby Malebo there, who is from Pimville. He, most of the time, speaks of, you know, the senior citizens in his community and them not being able to, you know, access these services. They are there to spearhead the call for service delivery in their community. You see it in Eldorado Park as well. You see, you know, young people like Sharis Pretorius, who's not only a community activist, but also a local broadcaster within her own community, making sure that their voices are heard. This is someone who has the platform again, you know, through their radio station to make sure that government gets the message.
So, of course, apart from the political intervention, we do know that Joburg is certainly in good hands. Thank you so much for that update, Linda Mnisi, our reporter who was out in Johannesburg today, both in Pimville as well as Eldorado Park, speaking to residents in terms of their reactions to now the new mayor who has been sworn in this morning, being Dada Morero.